I find it kind of funny when people, they almost get embarrassed. Like people are like, oh, I really just like Sauv Blanc. It's like, that's okay. You know what you like.
Fucking no problem.
That's awesome. Then I know what to give you. Yeah. This is really simple. The next part is, do you want to try something different or not? And then we go from there. But they almost get embarrassed that they know what they want. I'm like, if you know what you want, you're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Hello, TK.
Pete.
How are you?
Very well, mate. How are you?
I'm exhausted, but I'm good.
I bet.
I'm good.
How many restaurants have you opened this week?
12. No, not yet. We're getting there.
Welcome, Ollie Hansford, to the fray. That's exciting.
It's great. It's awesome having Ollie there and seeing the food. We had a bit of a menu tasting last week and it's going well. It's that time, so we're about 8 weeks out and it's just all systems go. And
exciting.
Yeah, it's great. So it's really good. But be good to get it done.
Good on you.
That's for sure.
Nice.
We're starting with a glass of wine in our hand. I haven't told you what this is.
No.
But it's red. I'll give you that.
It is very plum.
Yeah. It's I haven't tasted this. It's just I was given this as a sample today to look at for a couple of reasons. But yeah, it's a style that I really like. It's a variety I really like. Not something that we've got a lot of in Australia, but there's a bit here and people are doing some fun things with it. This is Italian grape variety.
Yeah, right.
What do you think of the wine?
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Confusing. It confuses me to what it is.
It's funny. I had this conversation yesterday. I was tasting with someone and there was a wine that I'm like, God, I don't get it. And that's what made me go back to it. I kept on wanting. I wanted to find out. There was something in it that was confusing me.
Yep.
And we've got a new assistant
yet again
today. She's doing a good job. She's bringing us things. She is a retriever, right? So
yes.
She's nailed it. But it's sometimes when you can't put your finger on something, you want to drink more of it or taste more to sort of find out.
Yep.
And this wine, the wine that I was looking at yesterday, I was like, I don't know if I love it or hate it. I was like in this weird kind of, it's good, but is it good? Is it bad? I don't know what's going on.
And it wouldn't happen too often with you where you get confused about a varietal, right?
Well, and that's the thing. It's like the question was, is it varietal?
Right.
So I had that conversation with the person I was talking to about the wine, and we're like, I don't know.
Meaning it could be blended or
no, more so it just doesn't reflect. Like if it's a Chardonnay, for example, it's like it doesn't really look like Chardonnay.
Yep.
And this wine wasn't Chardonnay, but it was like, God, it's really reminiscent of a couple of things, but not that variety.
Yep.
And so I was trying to work that out in my head, and it's like, what have they done to make it look like that? Or,
yep.
But I do like those wines that make you want to go back to them.
Yeah.
Because they're interesting.
Yep.
Sometimes, I taste a lot of wine, and sometimes it's just like, it's wine. It can be a little bit beige.
Yeah.
So it's nice when you see something with some personality, a little bit out left of center potentially, and it's kind of where this is for me as well.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It would be a great wine to bring to a party that everybody thinks they're wine snobs and
because it's not a heavy wine. It's not a big wine,
but it's certainly not light New Zealand Pinot either.
It's a style that so the grape variety is Nero d'Avola.
Never heard of it in my life.
So Sicilian grape variety. So southern Sicily, town of Avola, black of Avola, basically is the grape variety. So, and it's there's a few producers here that are doing some really fun things with it. Brash Higgins in McLaren Vale is making some really fun Nero d'Avola. There's a couple other producers in McLaren Vale, and it's it's been around for a while, but this style where it's like fresh and crunchy, and it can get really black and quite inky. Almost when it's made in a certain style, it can look really dark.
Because I'm horrible with Italian wines, and I've missed so many times that I get nervous around it.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a lot of Australian winemakers who are planting Italian varietals in Australia.
So much Italian variety too.
And am I right? And I could be completely wrong in saying this, but there's some really fucking good ones.
Great, exactly.
Like
Nebbiolo, Sangiovese, and then a lot of the kookier stuff, like the Chalmers family have
Pecorino. Is it Mencia?
Mencia Spanish, yeah. Yep. But the Chalmers family in particular have brought in so many varieties. Indigenous Italian varieties, and they've really been responsible for like the Vermentino in this country, for those Sagrantinos, for the slightly kooky Italian stuff.
But the climate's so different. Why do they grow so well? Isn't it
Mediterranean? So anyway, like McLaren Vale in particular, that Mediterranean climate, you got the cool nights.
I suppose that
you got the
no
breeze.
humid.
Yeah,
yep,
exactly.
Okay.
So that's really good for it. This little guy comes from the Granite Belt.
Does it?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, there's a few. I mean, mainly the people who are telling me that there's quite a few Italian varietals as being Queensland.
Yeah.
And WA.
Yeah, there's a bit there. Yeah, I mean, Larry Cherubino, we were talking about last week, that Lage Fair, that temp over there is really delicious. So this is Golden Grove. This is their Nero d'Avola 2024. This just won a trophy in Queensland at the Royal Queensland Wine Show. So gold medal wine, best wine in its class, and just best Queensland wine. Seriously good quality wine. Really
one of the best Queensland Reds I've ever had.
Yeah,
if it's not the best,
and
it's fucking delicious.
Smashable. This is in that throatable character. Where just to bring that word back for you again. I know how much you like it, but it is. It's like, but it's got this wonderful. What I really like about this is it's got this really lovely balance between just like I want to drink this faster than I can think, and also there's a bit to think about. You can sort of go each way with it. You don't have to think about it. You just have a pizza, smash this wine. It's like, that's a good night out.
I'm thinking sausages with this, like pork or venison or, something with a bit of fat.
Pork and fennel.
Yep.
That really classic style. You don't need much else with that.
I'm in need for some sausages with this wine now.
It's, actually traditional salami as well.
Yeah, or just a charcuterie board.
Yeah, big fan of that. But it's also... What I like about this is because it's not too heavy, it's not too extracted, you don't have a heap of tannin, it does actually...
It doesn't feel like burning alcohol either.
You can just drink it.
Yep.
Like you don't need anything with this. It's just like, I just want to drink this wine. I had a really interesting tasting today, like looking at a couple of raised wines, and we looked at 4 components that go into their rosé, and they've done serious trials on their rosé. And rosé is one of those things where a lot of people go, it's just easy, just make it, get it out, make some money. But these guys are really thinking about it. So it was so cool to see it. So there's three red wines that were made as rosé, and then a white wine, and the 4 things together make this really fun rosé. It's called Rosé Brosé, and it's just delicious. So, but I love the fact they've done this exercise to sort of break it down to show people how important blending is. It's not just one grape variety in this. There's 4 varieties. So it's what's the first variety? Shiraz, Grenache, Sangiovese, and then Vermentino. So those things will never be put together in any other part of the world.
Yeah, right.
Because they can't.
Yep.
Like most of Europe has laws. All of Europe has laws with regards to what you can grow and where and everything else. And those 3 things don't exist together anywhere else but Australia.
Yeah, right.
So it just makes it kind of unique. But what was really interesting for me was that put 1 + 1 + 1 + 1. It doesn't equal 4. It equals 5. Yeah. There's this little sort of je ne sais quoi that comes in where it's like, I don't really know what it is, but putting them together makes the sum of all parts is greater than the individual bits. It's just delicious. So,
you've always been really passionate about Queensland wine, right?
Yeah, look, I've looked at a lot of it over a long period of time, and I've seen the quality grow incredibly over. It
gets a bad rap.
It still does. People are just, I don't know. I think there's a bit of the tall poppy thing.
I'd love to get that in Matthew's glass because that would surprise the shit out of it.
That's the thing. There's heaps of people that I remember back in Restaurant 2 Days giving guys some. I think it was Ballandine Opera Block Cabernet. One year, this guy's corporate came in for a big lunch and wanted to drink really good Cabernet. Give us a good Cabernet, and I was like, oh, all right. So I sort of put it in a decanter and turned up, and I might have even told this story before, and sort of splashed it around. And this guy's like, this is great. We'll get another bottle. I did the same thing. He's like, this is awesome. And he's like, what is the wine? I said, what do you think it is? He's like, oh, it's McLaren Vale. Definitely. It's Cabernet. It's delicious. It's that chocolatey. I'm like, yeah, it's similar. And he's like, where? And I was like, it's from 3 hours away. This is Queensland. And he's like, and then he got upset because he's like thinking that I'm trying to like fool him. And it's like, dude, just relax.
You just educated.
The guys at the table had an absolute ball, so because they thought it was hilarious because he thought he knew everything about the wine. But I think having seen a lot of the wines develop, having seen the skills develop, the vine age, all those things, it's all heading in the right direction. Yep. There is a really big push there at the moment for newer varieties, like more Mediterranean varieties that can handle that daytime, nighttime shift, the diurnal shift, because that's what the Granite Belt is. It's most of the vineyards are between 800 and 1,000 meters, so that altitude is significant and has a real impact on.
A lot of people don't think about that.
No, that's the thing. People go, it's hot. It's Queensland. It's hot. It's like, it snows in the Granite Belt.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of guys that I know. One in particular, Steve Lazinski, who's Q Wine is his website and Twitter and all the other handles. Twitter doesn't want to use Twitter anymore, but he he always posts like Barossa, Hobart, like 5 different temperatures at different times of the year, and Granite Belt's always cooler.
Is that
almost
right?
invariably? Always, it's cooler, and the altitude has a massive thing on it. So, it is a region that I think is a little bit misunderstood.
Yep.
People don't know what's there. You know, we made a comment a couple of weeks ago about getting people out there, and Ray actually made a comment on one of our posts.
Oh,
going,
yeah?
We're open. Get out here. It's going to be the best time of the year to do it. And this is like kind of where everyone goes there because it is just a nice time of year to go.
And it's so easy to get out there.
So easy, but also it's worth it when you get to taste this. You know,
I would love to. I'd love to see Queensland wine sort of get a bit more traction, and
it just needs support. It needs people in restaurants to. You got to seek out these wines. That's the one thing for me that there's the slight disconnect. And I remember going to talk to a whole group of producers. I don't know how many years ago now about getting to market, and there was I said that was their biggest sort of challenge at that point in time because I could get wines from all over Australia within sort of 2 or 3 days, but you order a wine from the Granite Belt, and the guy's like, "Oh, I'll be driving down in a few weeks. I'll bring it down then." It's like, okay, we're going to get better at that.
You kind of need it tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, and particularly for a restaurant, it's like, I need it, right? So I think that's sort of changing a lot. They're realising that there's, they need distribution, they need people on the road showing the wines, and like Peter Scudamore-Smith, I tasted with him this morning with these wines. He's been so heavily involved in the industry and mentored so many people, and is still making delicious wine. I tasted a wine with him today that absolutely blew my mind.
Fuck, the Queensland wine industry owes him a great deal of gratitude. I know that much.
A knighthood at least. So, but yeah, I tasted a Chardonnay today from him that was 15 years old and was good, really good. Like I gave it to someone else later in the day and said, "What do you think that is?" And he was like, "I have no idea, but I love it." And it's like, and this is a wine drinker, not a professional, but knows wine, drinks a lot of, very, very good wine. And he's like, "I don't know." He said, "I don't know. I couldn't pick it." He's like, "But it has kind of that power of Merceau." And I was like, yeah. And I was like, "That's from Queensland." He's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" So, and then straight away I was like, get me some bottles because it's delicious. And they're those wines where you can show people and it's fun.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the kind of wine I'd put in a lineup when people were drinking really fancy stuff.
Yeah.
And I'd just slide that in next to it and be like, "What's that?" And they wouldn't understand because the acid was so significant because of that altitude, cool year, no malo, all the things like it was.
So
really
acid in a way like Tassie has in Shardy?
Yeah, I mean, ish. I mean, in terms of the total acid, like the TA level, I couldn't tell you. I could get those numbers, but yeah, ish.
Yeah,
definitely. Right. But it is that acid is what you need for longevity.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the acid, the wine's not going to age.
No.
It's as simple as that. So it's also the reason why some wines, when we drink them early, they hurt. Like, young Barolo hurts because it's so acidic and so tannic. And it needs time to sort of flesh out. So this has had 15 years and it's not fat. It's not oily. It's just, it's developed, don't get me wrong, but I don't think anyone that I know would be able to pick the vintage on this thing based on colour and the way that the wine looks. But
mate, I didn't even know what it was. Yeah. It was just yum.
This is fun. This is fun.
Yeah.
Can I just ask a question?
No.
This would probably be a viewer question that would be someone that's a bit uneducated, like myself, in this term, like in these, like what we're talking about.
Yeah.
When you're talking about a region that people frown upon, like Queensland, what is it that they're frowning upon? Are they frowning upon the grape varietal, or sorry, not the grape varietal, but the grape growing conditions, or the winemakers, or the region, the atmosphere? Like, what is it that's making it not a good wine for people that are listening? I'm quoting with my fingers.
Yeah, it's there's a couple of things. Good question, Corey. Thanks for asking.
Thanks, man.
I think one of the major problems was, let's say, people who are in their 40s might have gone out to the Granite Belt in their 20s and tasted some wine, maybe not had a great experience because the quality wasn't necessarily there. There was quite a few smaller producers, mum and dad kind of setups that weren't really looking after the vineyards properly. I looked at a vineyard with a friend many, many years ago, and we drove out there with this guy in the same car to look at this vineyard that he was trying to sell. And we got there and it was like, "Are you joking?" It's like, "Yeah, we've got a full kitchen and we've got all of this and da-da-da." And we get there and it was one of the most poorly maintained vineyard I've ever seen in my entire life. The kitchen was basically a stainless steel bench in a shed. It was like, this is rubbish. So I think one of the challenges was back then they weren't set up for good experiences. I think also they came, and I say they is bad because it's like generalizing everyone. It wasn't everyone, but there was producers that came to market and basically came in at a price point above what the classic regions were. So, like, people know they can go and get a pretty decent value for money Barossa Shiraz for $15. The Granite Belt, same thing. Like Shiraz, same vintage, it'd be $25. So there was that sort of pushback at that point in time of, it's expensive. Like, why is it expensive? It's not that good. But it wasn't. Some of the wines were good, but that price, that cost will drive people away from it. I also think that we had the wrong varieties. Like, there's a lot of varieties that were being made there that we shouldn't have. It's the same argument. There's 65 growing regions in Australia, and they've all got Chardonnay and Shiraz, and they shouldn't.
Yeah, right. And that problem with, sorry if you said it and I missed it, but the how you said you go to Barossa and you get one for 15, you go to the Queensland and you get one for 25.
Yep.
Was that more of a logistical problem?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
what added on that extra $10.
So, well, it costs money to do it, particularly when you're setting up.
Yeah.
So
and getting it to a restaurant.
Economies of scale at the end of the day. Right. Like, if you're only processing 1 ton of fruit, it's really expensive. You're doing 100 tons, completely different.
But human beings are funny, right? Like, you say, if I say Wagyu beef, instantly 90% of the population goes, "Oh, it's Japanese beef." Yeah, some of the greatest Wagyu in the world is produced in Australia, Queensland, Victoria, America. Like it, but it's this. Well, it's not as good as the Japanese stuff. A lot of people have never had Japanese Wagyu before, but in their head, it's like that's like Shiraz. Or you got to have Barossa Shiraz. Yeah. WA, not really great. Fucking, it's delicious. Like so, it's. I reckon a lot of it's this preconceived idea in people's head that Queensland produces great beer, 4X, but not great wine.
And I think it's the perception that it's hot.
Yeah.
And hot climates aren't necessarily great for wine.
That's exactly what I was going to lead to my next question. So we understand that grapes, when they struggle, produce better wine. Is that correct?
They can, yes.
They can.
Mm-hmm.
So by rights, by theory anyway, by my math, grapes in a warmer climate should grow better, faster, less struggle.
Yep.
So
that doesn't make them good for wine.
Like, why?
Because, you've got a warm climate. There's a really simple kind of axes of temperature and acid.
So it comes down to the pH level.
Well, it's not. That's one part of it. It comes down to a lot of things. But the warmer it gets, the lower the acid is.
Yeah.
So for wines of quality and wines of ageability, you need acid.
Right.
So if you don't have that to start, you can't add it after it's bottled. You can add it beforehand, and people do in this country. Particularly,
is that tartaric?
Tartaric, generally, or citric. You can do. There's multiples, but it just depends on the style. And that's the thing. Australia allows a lot of additions here that the rest of the world may not. One of the big ones that we don't talk about very much anymore because it doesn't happen as much is tannin. Adding tannin, like if you've got a wine that was a bit warmer and the acid's down, the tannin's down, you can literally add liquid tannin.
So
what's it made out of?
Walnuts.
I know the word tannin, but what is it?
Yeah. So tannic acid is an acid that's produced in grapes, and it's present in the skins and the seeds of the grape. So it's going to be in every wine.
Yeah.
Red wine that spends time with its skins.
Right,
basically. Okay. So if it's white wine that's just pressed and then the juice goes, then spends no time with the skins, there's going to be in white wines we don't call it tannin, even though it is, we call it phenolics. So that wine you've mentioned previously of looking at wine that's darker because of the skin contact, that wine's going to have phenolic bitterness at the back of the palate. So it's that thing that makes you go at the back, that's tannin.
Trying to push down some spit or something.
Yeah, well, it's actually the reverse. It's a drying acid.
Is it?
So it's that thing, when you give people young Cabernets full of tannin.
Just like drinking sand.
Yeah, it's sort of it's a very drying sort of acid. So
thank you. You answered my question.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Hopefully people out there were asking the same thing.
Just we're gonna set you up with a Corey Loves Wine Instagram, something like that, so you can have all the questions.
I'm going to be a master of wine in a couple of years.
I might just pause for a second. I think that the questions that you ask, though, what's important is that there's a lot of people that have those questions and they're scared to ask them to wine
and there's
people.
No reason to be scared.
Oh, it's a dark art. That people don't want to ask the questions. They don't want to seem like a muppet. And it's just like, just ask.
Yeah.
Professionals will answer the question. Yeah. And if they're any good, they won't give you any attitude.
No.
They don't care.
No.
you know,
Just
we've asked the
accept-
questions as well.
Except you're a muppet. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I do every day, and that's the thing. It's like my thing when I'm tasting, I want to ask as many questions as I can, so I can learn as much. So
Educate yourself, yeah.
absolutely, that's what it is. It's like I want to know about the vineyard. Like yesterday, I tasted some great wines with a good friend, Claire Berta. She's making exceptional wine in Whitlands. There's a couple of sparklings that are delicious, and I love these wines. And like I had my whole team there pretty much, and they were just asking question after question after question because the wines were interesting and they wanted to know more. And that's the same as every other person. That's the thing. It's like I said before, the wine's interesting. I want to know more about it.
Yeah.
And the way that I'm going to do that if I've just got the glass is by tasting it, going back to it, thinking about it more, giving it more time, giving it more air, seeing what it develops in the glass over a day or two or whatever. So, but...
And there's no stupid questions when you're
There
going
is.
wine.
There totally is. But I always say that when I'm doing a big taste, I'm like, there's no stupid or there's no wrong ansons.
It's
or
just
no
stupid
wrong,
questions.
Yeah, but it's like there's no such thing as a stupid question. I'm like, that's dumb. But there really isn't, and that's the thing is
stupid statement.
But I think the thing is, it can be intimidating. Like even a wine list, you look at a wine list, like some wine lists that are, 300, 400, 500 bins, and it's like I don't know what to do here. It's like where do I start? And so generally people open up and go, I recognize that, I'll take that.
Isn't it funny how it's always the second cheapest
bottle
that's always the
that is
biggest
one of the
seller.
funniest memes that went around, I think.
Do you think that like the prejudice around this being scared to ask questions about wine comes from you know how you said like say Queensland for example gets a bad rap for wine. It's got nothing to do with the wine. It's or like it might do like let's say it's 20% of the problem.
Yeah.
But do you find that maybe things like movies and all that kind of stuff, because when you think about wine, you think about like when movies show wine, they're showing like a bunch of people sitting around the table, eating gorgonzola, drinking wine, and like adding this level of like
drinking wine with gorgonzola.
Yeah, well, like
you've gone wrong straight away.
Ports,
there,
mate.
So, yeah.
Still, like you understand what I'm trying to say.
I do, and that's the thing. It's like there's this almost persona of the wine industry that develops into this like we're a secret society, and you've got to have the key to
but
get
it's
in.
no
It's
different than just cracking a beer. Like it's literally like
it's very different.
No, but like no,
there's no terroir in beer. Like there's no
no. But like hear me out, and this is leaning.
Sorry to all the beer people. Be like
this
no,
is
I can hear Kristen now.
This is leaning into what you were saying, like, don't wait to enjoy a good bottle of wine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you finish mowing the lawn, have a nice glass of wine or
have a beer, then a nice glass of wine.
Like I'm drinking way more wine than beer right now, and like I'll finish mowing the lawn, and I've just removed it from something that I eat with dinner.
Classic Cabernet.
So we're turning you into an alcoholic. You're welcome. But it is interesting because I think the other thing is it's time and place, and people think that wine's for serious times only. It's only for around the dinner table.
No, it's for fun.
No, it's 100%. It's a social lubricant.
Yeah.
The whole thing is to get you relaxed.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it's beer, wine, rye, whiskey, whatever. That's not me.
So we're just going to pause here for 1 sec, guys.
But that's the thing. It's like wine's always, it should be part of the equation, not the only thing. I mean, when I'm tasting wine, the wine is the only thing, right? But if I'm at home or if I've got friends over or if I'm at a dinner party or at a restaurant, wine's part of everything that's going on. Like, again, for years, it's the same conversation. And, I know, guy, Dan, who I used to work with, Dan Sims, who, ran Bottle Shop Concepts. We used to do lots of events together. And in trainings, he would say the thing with wine is his social lubricant is his. I'm not going to claim that. But it's also, he'd say it's a social drink. Like you don't go to the pub and go, I'm going to get a bottle of wine. Do you want a bottle of wine? Bottle of wine. So we'll get 3 bottles of wine, please. It's like, what do you like? What do you like? Okay, we're going to land in the middle of that and we're going to have this. We're going to share it. So it's a very different thing. Whereas like, okay, you can have a Carlton Draft, you can have a Guinness, and I'll have a Great Northern or whatever. It's just like they're different things. They're different products for different times. But and the key thing is it's a social drink. Yeah. And 9 times out of, I'd like to think most bottles are shared. Even if it's shared with yourself tomorrow.
But like what I was trying to say was more along the lines of trying to remove that inbuilt wank that gets instilled in your brain.
Yeah.
And then when I say no different to beer, that's what I mean. Like,
It's been 100 years in the making, but the wankiness around wine and
but it's just a drink.
yeah,
yeah,
it's
like
just
it-
a drink.
like,
Calm the fuck down.
remove the I'm getting hints of oak and lavender or
yeah, you don't just say that.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, just it tastes fucking good.
It's good.
Yeah,
It's
Or
delicious.
I only drink Burgundy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
So
and great. If that's your thing, that's okay as well.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's like it's not my thing. I mean, I think the thing for me, like people go, "What do you drink?" I'm like, everything. My the way that I learn is by tasting. So I want to drink every single thing that there is.
Tell me what mood, what day of the week is it? What
Yeah.
have I just done? Is it a celebration? All these things allude to.
But
For me, when somebody goes, "What's your favorite drink?" It's like I'll drink anything. I'm
Yeah.
the same.
whatever's in my glass at the
I'll have a
time.
glass of Riesling,
What's
and
your favorite
sometimes
drink? Yes.
Yeah.
and sometimes what I really like is when you go out for dinner with somebody and you haven't had something for a while, and somebody orders something,
Yeah.
and you go, "Fuck, I haven't ordered that in so long."
Or I've never ordered that.
yeah,
I would never. That's the great thing again. Like if you pass the wine list around,
Yep.
and sometimes that like wine list roulette can be pretty dodgy. You
Yep.
want to kind of know the people you're with because I mean I've certainly done it before where it's like I didn't know the people and they're like, oh, you're the wine guy, you choose the wine. I'm like, I don't know where we're at here.
yeah.
It's like I need more information. Like I don't know you well
Yep.
enough to be able to go. I know you like that. I know you like that. We're probably going to land here. I always undersell anyway.
Yeah.
You know, which is probably a bad thing, but it's not.
I don't think it is because you get two bites of the biscuit.
That's the thing. I want someone to buy 2 bottles rather than 1. So, but the thing for me is like, you know, in that sort of situation where there's multiple people, you don't really know what's going on. It's like, I will order something that I think is going to be a crowd pleasing wine that people, it doesn't have any arms and legs. It's just balanced. And it's like, if I know that wine, and I'll ask questions of the people that I'm with as well. It's like, what do you like? What do you feel like? You feel like something light, medium or full? And, you know, the classic, as if I was at a table kind of situation. We just do it without the, I'm serving you kind of thing. It's just, it's the same conversation. It's just done differently.
Yeah.
But again, it's that idea of sharing it. But when I've been in situations before where there's been like wine people and non-wine people at a table, and the wine people are being kind of measured, and the non-wine people think they need to compete. So all of a sudden, it's like, you know, everyone's drinking, right? We're going to agree, sort of not really, but based on whoever orders the first bottle of wine, it's like, okay, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
It's like $100 or 50 or 250, whatever the hell it is. That kind of sets it. And the second bottle, cool. And then someone comes in and goes, and just drops like a $500 wine on the table. It's
Isn't
like,
that nerve wracking? But when you go out for people and you do not know where they're at.
Yeah.
And you like, I'll often order a bottle of wine and just say, I'll pay for that.
Yeah, exactly.
And even if it's $80 or $50, because I know some people that think that a $40 bottle of wine is like,
Absolutely.
why would you ever pay that much money
Absolutely.
for that bottle of wine?
And that's totally okay. I
Absolutely.
get that completely as well. And it's like, that's cool. Well, then we'll look at this, or maybe we just have cocktails tonight, or whatever. You know, there's other things out there. But I think the big thing is, you know, trying to tell people, don't be afraid of asking, but just pick your time as well and pick your person.
Yeah.
You know, good SOMs, good retailers, they will ask you questions and listen. That's the skill.
Yeah.
If they can do that, if you walk something like, and let's say you walk into a bottle shop of any kind and you go, hey, I'm looking for a bottle of wine for tonight. They go, no worries. What do you like? And they ask you questions, then you're on the right track. If they go, oh, okay, well, Shiraz is good. It's like,
Do you find it hard to teach that?
yeah, a little bit, because it is kind of one of those customer service things that I think is inbuilt in people in terms of listening. Listening is a hard thing to teach, really hard thing to teach. You try and work that out in the interview stage, I think, from my point of view. And again, it's like, oh, how would you approach a table? You know, people are like, oh, you know, so what do you normally drink? I'm like, good, you're in.
But SOMs and baristas are so hard like that because from a barista, it's, oh, you want a flat white. You have milk in your coffee. Oh, God, fucking bogan.
And that's the thing. I think that, and it's kind of those, like, not all SOMs. And, you know, that era, I think, is passing.
Right.
You know, where now we've got really educated people in the wine industry that are pushing education in general. You know, Wesset and CMS have never been more popular. So that's the Wine and Spirit Education Trust and the Court of Master Sommeliers. Both of those programs have never been more popular. They've never been more busy to get in. I couldn't even get one of my team into a class this year. So we've had to either, we're going to ship them to New Zealand or we're going to do it next year. So it's like, that's awesome.
So you pour a lot of energy and effort into doing
training.
that.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And, you know, we need to. because the benefits are exponential to the business. You know, when people are trained,
it's a shallow pool in Australia.
Totally, absolutely, and everyone kind of knows each other as well. But I think, you know, and we're doing some things at work now, which I'm really proud of in terms of that side of developing people and trying to lift them up to the next level, because you know, it's that same old, you know, thing. You want someone to be able to take over your job at some point in time. So it's like my job now is to help these people get to that next level, or whatever that looks like. You know, I had a conversation with one of our bar team today who's going to the new venue, and, you know, I was like, you need to tell me what you want to learn. And he's like, I just want all the back of house stuff. It's like, I can make a drink. I just want to know the back of house stuff, the boring shit that no one teaches you.
Yeah.
Someone generally, what happens is you just end up doing it. Like, it's like the Stephen Bradbury
You
of
just go
like,
broke 3 times, and then you'll get it.
and then you'll work it out. Exactly. And that's the thing. This guy wants to open his own venue. So he's like, he's smart because he's, you know, he can come and work with us. Ty. Yeah, no, bugger off. Ty, if you get a phone call from this guy. But it is that thing where, you know, he's using the opportunity to develop his career.
Yeah.
And openings are always exciting, you know. And
it always gets very boring after the month 3, but when you really realise the excitement is now.
This is now real work, yeah. And that's the thing, we talked about all that stuff today. But, mate, honestly, Corey, I would just ask the question. And if people are nervous, then find someone that you're comfortable with. There's always someone. The challenge with wine as well is that everyone knows someone who's into wine. Like, and it mightn't be not in a professional way necessarily. It's just like, oh, that's a, you know, old mate's, you know, wife is a connoisseur, or, you know, her husband, you know, loves that, or that guy that I work with loves Shiraz, and all of that. They're not the people you want to talk to. You know, unfortunately, sorry.
Or do yourself a favour when you go out for dinner, or go to, in particular with a bottle shop. But if you're out for dinner and somebody says, would you like some help with the wine list?
Yes.
If you can go, I'm having the scallops for an entree, I'm having the lamb for the main. I really want a red. My favourite varietal is Pinot or Shiraz. I don't want it too heavy. I don't want it too light. And my budget's between $50 and $90.
Bang.
And then, like, whether it be a SOM or a restaurant manager, at least you've narrowed down the margin for error dramatically, and you should get something potentially that you want.
Absolutely, and that's perfect. The more information that anyone gives you, the easier it is to give them an answer.
Like when you were working in our bottle shop, and some people would come in and go, I'm having a steak, my budget's $100, and I want a Barossa Shiraz. It's like, fucking no problem.
No problem. There it is. Yeah.
Have you tried this?
I've got 7 options.
Yeah.
So let's go there and there. It's like boom. So it does that narrowing it down, and also that comes to people that don't. I always love. Love is not the right word. I find it kind of funny when people, they almost get embarrassed. Like, people are like, oh, I really just like Sauv Blanc. It's like, that's okay. You know what you like.
No problem.
That's awesome. Then I know what to give you. Yeah. This is really simple. The next part is, do you want to try something different or not? And then we go from there. But they almost get embarrassed that they know what they want. I'm like, if you know what you want, you're ahead of the game.
Yeah, 100%.
Way ahead of the game. So, and it doesn't mean you have to drink that every single day.
That kind of comes down to that built-in, like, I don't want to say prejudice, it's not the right word, but that built-in sort of, oh yeah, you know, people laugh at this in the movies, or like,
what's fear?
Yeah,
but like,
people never want to make out as though they don't know, or they're you know, but also less of a wine person than what you are. But it's like, who fucking cares?
But that's the thing, is they think they're going to get judged. And it's like, I don't give a shit. If someone comes in and says, I know nothing, I've got $20, what should I drink? I'm like, cool, no problems. We've got an option for that.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like, I like white.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
And that's the thing. It's like, some people's like, I want wine. I'm like, what color? And they're like, oh, I don't know. And it's like, well, there's only a few options, so let's narrow that down first. Yeah. And it's like, and then it's like, okay, well, then do you want light, medium, or full? And if people know nothing about wine,
what's your favorite wine?
They will know light, medium, or full, because it's like, oh, it's lunch. I just want something light. I'm like, okay, cool. Then we'll go down here. Yeah. That's a great question as well. What's your favorite wine? Because that gives you everything.
Yeah.
People will give you, because normally they'll go, oh, I really like
Jim Barry
Riesling. So straight away I'm like, okay, cool. So Clare Valley Riesling. So you like white aromatic wines with high acid that are really crisp and sort of crunchy as young wines,
or potentially sweet as fuck.
Yeah.
No, real crisp, very dry,
crunchy.
Very dry. Yeah.
Very dry. That's acid. That's acid.
Number one.
That's just
number one
acid.
Chandon ZD. Do you like fizz in it? You want a bone ass
I
dry.
don't mind a bit of fizz.
Yeah, you'd be a zero dosage kind of
Yeah.
guy where there's no dosage, so there's no sugar added back, and it hurts.
It's like a carbonated green apple.
yeah.
Yes, that.
Malic acid is what you like. Yeah,
That's
you
what
like
I
to be
want.
hurt.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it feels
Sherbet.
good. It's a good hurt.
There's another podcast for that. So it's not going to be anywhere near our channel. We're not going to point to it, but there's definitely a couple out there, I'm sure.
I'm
So,
typing it in now.
yeah, first letter is B, and I think the thing is, it is that like you always give yourself sort of shit for not knowing much, but you know what you like, and the fact you can just go, I like Jim Barry Riesling. It's like cool, great.
Yeah.
Then that for me gives me everything. Gives me price as well. So I know that, and depending on the wine, but if you're drinking Watervale Riesling, then you want to spend somewhere between $20 and $25 in retail, and that's kind of it, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I know that. Just that's my job is to know that, so that when you tell me that, I can give you an option.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah, but it's fun as well. Like I love that.
Yeah.
And I always like, from a retail perspective, what I love is people come in because they're like, oh, I'm doing a XYZ. Michael used to come in all the time. He was a dentist, really lovely guy. And he'd come in and be like, I'm doing this, and like a particular dish, loves food as well. And so he's like, I'm doing beef. I'm like, with what, mate?
Yeah,
Because there's a big fucking difference
braised,
between a piece
barbecued,
of sirloin and
raw.
tandoori, so it's like, let's try and work out what it is. And because it's never about the protein, we've talked about this before, it's always about the sauce. But I love it when people come in and they're like, I've got an idea in my mind of what I want dinner to be like. Help me get there. And it's like, cool, we can do this. And often with him as well, I'll be like, we'll do this and this. So he'll go, yeah, absolutely. And, open 2 bottles. And that's the fun stuff when you're learning about wine, when you're getting into it, and you can over a few days, and if you've got people in the house you can share it with. And that's what people say, how do we learn about wine? It's like open more, So instead of spending $15 or $30 on one wine, spend 15 on 2. And mix it up.
Yeah.
And, you don't have to spend more money.
No.
Quality is going to come down a little bit, yeah, of course. But that way you can taste more wine. We've got, there's plenty of storage systems now where you don't have to drink the whole bottle in a night. That's a thing, everyone. You actually don't. I've only learnt that in the last few years. But if you open a bottle of wine, it'll be there tomorrow. I thought it just magically disappeared and I'd never get to see it ever again. But now I understand that I can look at that wine again tomorrow.
Have you? What's your take on half bottles? Are you going hard with your lists?
No, the opposite. We're using Coravin more and more. So
Coravin could be the death of the half bottle, eh?
I think it will be because half bottles are really expensive to produce.
I was going to say,
really expensive. It's like suckling pigs. It's the same. Everything is the same apart from the weight.
Yeah.
So it still costs you X amount of money to process it, regardless. So similarly with that, like small bottles are really expensive. The cork's the same price. It's the same length generally. So
you need 2 labels. You need
all of those things. It's all the design stuff. It's a lot of people are going away from it.
Right.
I certainly think that it's getting harder to find them. And we've got one of the venues now where every wine that's available by the glass is available by the half bottle as well, because it's just you just pour it out of the Coravin. It's just longer. So that means we've actually got in that venue 35 half bottles available.
Fuck,
really,
that's a lot.
Yeah, but it's not.
No,
because we've got all those open for by the glass anyway, and we've got the storage system, so the wine's always going to be good. But it's I think the half bottles are probably a thing of the past. And the other thing is the other way is magnums.
Yeah,
we can't keep up.
No, same.
It's just people love it. There's that, and again, I'm going to quote Dan
it's showy
again here. Well, the thing that Dan Sims used to say was Magnum show commitment.
I love it.
So true. It really is. And I think I've told this story before. Like I was in Greece 7 or 8 years ago, and every time we went to order rosé, it was just a Magnum. It's like, oh, just a single. They're like, we don't have that. It's like, you're going to drink it.
What's the 15 litre? Is that Nebuchadnezzar?
Nebuchadnezzar. Like in Champagne, it's slightly different. Yeah. So you've got Nebuchadnezzar, Salmanazar, Balthazar, and so it's Magnum, Double Magnum, or Imperial. And then, all of the biblical names sort of come in.
I nearly brought my
Jeroboam.
A good friend of mine a Magnum, Nebuchadnezzar of rosé, and I'm like, that's something like 290 fucking glasses of wine.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's commitment.
But it's also
you're never going to have a party where you've got that many people drinking that much rosé.
And the only way to pour that wine, I'm pretty sure I know the brand that it probably would have been, is to get a
forklift.
No, I can't remember.
Franacrane?
No, hang on, wait, a wheelbarrow full of ice, and then sit the bottle in there and just tip the wheelbarrow up when you want to pour it.
That's a fucking great idea.
Yeah, I've seen it done a couple of times.
The neck of the bottles.
It's like this.
Yeah.
You need to decant it as well. So because or you just get a giant glass where everyone's drinking out of a bucket. But yeah, they're fun, and I've done some big bottles.
Did Yeti bring out a fucking decanter?
Don't they probably will? But I've done.
It'll be fucking $9,000.
Big absolutely. Big champagne bottles they're tough. They're tough to open.
Like there's so many great
precious
videos.
less. Yeah. Oh my god, that sabering one from, was that Per Se or was it French Laundry? It was one of Keller's that was like Christmas, and they were sabering in the kitchen, and it was like this giant bottle, and the whole thing just exploded. It's like, that's funny. I'm not sure if that dog's meant to be doing that, but just subtly.
So, you know the hotel brand St. Regent's?
Yes.
So every brand new, is it every brand new or every week, every new week, they sabre a bottle of champagne in the bar and pour it out to their guests. I want to say it's every week.
I want to say, I don't know if I've said this out loud before. Hey, Papa, is I'm not sure whose socks they are, but they're not mine.
Out.
Is that I don't like sabering.
I don't get it.
I don't like it's waste more than anything else. Like,
But
I
what
get
about
it's
the
dramatic
sharp
and everything
fucking
else.
broken end of the
Mate,
champagne. I always get nervous about where's that going.
I just don't. I just think it's silly. I just really do. It's just not for me. I mean, I kind of get it, but I also just don't. I'm like, it just doesn't. Particularly if it's good. If it's good wine, fuck off. I don't want to spurt it all over the floor. I want to drink the thing.
So, a good friend of mine, John Eastham, shout out to John and Mayfield Vineyards down in Orange, that he was at a St. Regent's opening. It was like the hotel had just opened, and this video went viral. But if you look really closely, he's literally in the background because he knew either the SOM or the GM and the owner of the hotel, not just the fucking GM, the fucking big daddy.
Yeah.
He was there, and this fucking guy grabbed this massive, I don't know, it was bigger than a Magnum. I don't know, it was a Jeroboam or whatever.
Jeroboam
And he fucking sabred this thing, and as soon as the knife hit the top of it, he dropped it.
Dropped the bottle.
Dropped the bottle. And this thing went bunter. Yeah. And he couldn't help but fucking start laughing in the background.
But it's hilarious. But it's like, what a waste.
He sent me the video, and I was like, oh my God. And he goes, and I said, can you imagine the people watching that? And he goes, look in the background. And I zoomed in,
here.
and he was there, and he just put his hand over his face. He just started laughing. Like,
I
think
that's all you can do.
Then there's something. There was in the St. Regent's world. There was like, this is really, really bad luck. So because it's a fucking thing that's famous with the St. Regent's brand. So now they're all thinking, do we need to burn some fucking sage or do something?
Be smudging the entire
this
hotel.
hotel's going to be fucked if we're not careful here. But yeah, this full bottle. I want to say it was something like Egley or Dom,
something
or
serious, yeah,
significant. And it was in 2 billion pieces on the ground.
I just don't get it. I just want to pour it into a glass. I'm really old school in that way.
And
I drink champagne.
The dad comes out in me because I'm like, righto, so where's the end gone? Where is it?
Yeah, shoes on, everyone.
Yeah,
shoes on.
Because now you've got a fucking 3-inch shard of glass in the grass somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
luck for the kids playing polo later.
Or when it goes and somebody sabers it to water.
Yeah.
It's even worse for me. I'm like,
yeah,
someone's going to stand on that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it done off balconies.
Yeah,
like in the city. And it's like, that could kill someone.
Yes. Fucking, what's that?
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Right. What happened
top
to you?
of a champagne bottle in my eyeball.
How'd you lose your eye? Funny story. It started with a pop. Yeah, I just don't get it. It's not for me. But yeah, anyway.
Well, we started with Queensland Red, mate. We finished with sabering French Red.
Champagne. It's not a bad way to start. So we should get some champagne and keep going. But
righto.
Yeah, bit of fun. All right, we'll see you next time.
Good on you, boys. Thank you.
Toodles.